everybody. Thanks for coming back to at Titi's House podcast. I gotta get used to saying this. Although it sounds pretty good at Titi's house. I guess I don't really have to say podcast, right?
Yeah, I got you.
We at Titi's house, and this is the podcast for you to be watching. So make sure that you're tuning in, like, follow, and share. Thanks again for coming back. This is our second episode under the new name. I think things are going pretty well. What do you think, Kason?
Yeah, I think they're going good.
Going good. So we are back up on Spotify.
Yep.
We will let you know when we're on Apple Music and iHeartRadio.
Yes.
Okay, so we still have to upload to iHeart and Apple.
Yes, a little
All
longer
right, so y'all can find
now.
us on YouTube right now at TT's House and on Spotify at TT's House. Okay, so make sure that you like, follow, and share on those platforms. We will keep you informed on when we will be on the new platforms under TT's House for Apple Music and iHeartRadio. So let's talk about it. First of all, let me say this weekend coming up is the 4th of July weekend. Got any plans, producer?
No, just watch Carlito.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm going out of town and got to watch the dog for me,
Yeah,
y'all.
I'll be watching
Yeah,
the
we going
dog.
to New Orleans. NOLA. We're going to have a good time. It's our girls' trip to New Orleans for Essence Fest. I haven't been to Essence Fest, I'm going to say probably in about 15 years.
Oh, really?
It's been a
Yeah,
long time.
they've been talking about it a lot these last couple of years, too.
Yeah,
so I imagine it's going to be a good
I mean, it's
time.
always been popular. It's funny because I was telling Chris, my neighbor, it's like, Chris, I'm going out of town this weekend. I'm going to need you to, just keep an eye for any unusual activity or whatever. He was like, where are you going? I said, New Orleans. He was like, I'm going to be in New Orleans, too.
Oh,
I
word?
said,
Oh, yeah,
who told you can go on vacation when I go on vacation? We supposed to switch, weekends or whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to be in New Orleans, too. Let's hook up and have dinner. I was like, all right,
Yeah,
we'll
y'all
do
should.
that. We'll
That's
do
right.
that.
Have you ever been out together?
No.
Like hung out? Yeah.
Yeah, like I've hung out at his house. He's
Okay.
invited me over there, and I've hung out over there, and I've invited him over here too.
Yeah.
So he's good. He's good people. His friends are nice. I like all of them.
Yeah,
so
y'all might have a party.
I like having my little neighbor over there,
Yeah.
Chris. Hey, Chris. But I love Chris. Chris is good people. He'll bring my trash can up if he see it down there. I have to text him and be like, Chris, can you get the mail off the porch? They put a box on the porch. It's not supposed to come till Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's like, what? But he's a really good neighbor. You got to have good neighbors, man. People don't understand that.
It keeps you feeling safe when you know the people around you are good people.
Around you are good people. And we just had somebody else move in to the right of me. That house was just remodeled, and the investor actually sold it to a lady next door. I got to go over there and introduce myself because, you got to know your neighbors. Like back in the day, everybody knew everybody.
For real.
And nowadays, it's like you don't know who. I was asking one of my friends, Marcus. Marcus lives in Charlotte. And I was like, Marcus, do you know your neighbors? He was like, never talked to him. And I said, how long you been living there? He said 5 years. And I was like, do you have an HOA? He was like, yeah. I said, you don't go to none of the HOA stuff? He was like, nah, he's a truck driver.
Oh, yeah.
So he's on the road a lot. But I was like, Marcus, you got to know your neighbors because I feel like if you live alone or, you don't have kids coming in and out or whatever, you're in a different state from your family. Like,
And
you
he's
need
on the
somebody.
road a lot. You say he's a truck driver?
Yeah, he's a truck driver. You're on the road a lot. Like, if something happens to you, nobody's going to know.
For real.
That's crazy. It's crazy. I had a friend of mine pass away. She was a diabetic and she went into a diabetic coma. And it was weird because I had just talked to her probably like a week before. We were talking about selling stuff because she used to sell stuff on the marketplace all the time. And I used to always have stuff on there. And sometimes she would see the stuff I was selling and hit me up like, what you selling now? And I would say the same thing to her. And I loved her, Sandy, to death. Like, to come to find out that she went into a diabetic coma and was by herself. At home. And we kept sending, people from the job kept sending the police over there, and they wouldn't go in until they spoke to one of her family members. It was 7 days later.
Oh, man.
And she was in there for 7 days dead. Like, you, at the end of the day, you got to at least know one of your neighbors.
Somebody.
I always say for Chris, like, I could just give him a code, make up a code for him to come in the door.
Exactly.
And check in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to at least know one person if you don't have no kids or somebody calling you, because anything can happen at any time, man. Life is not promised, y'all. Life is so short. Enjoy your life because here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel like especially after like post-pandemic too, we were just talking about this yesterday. People are just living way more in the moment now, and really
Yes.
enjoying life a lot more than they used
Yes, it's so crazy. It's like people are just like jumping up and doing things. They're
Yeah.
not waiting to. I always say to myself, I'm not going to wait to buy a handbag. I'm not going to wait to buy them shoes. I'm not going to wait to buy me a new car. Like, for what? Because I don't even know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm
Yeah.
going to enjoy my money. Saving your money, 401k, that's all great and dandy and everything, but I don't believe in the 401k.
No, me neither.
I don't. I mean, like, I have one just in case, but at the end of the day, that's not going to retire me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not, I started working really late in life, you know, got my education later in life. I started working late in life. So you have to really put double, triple times in a 401k to definitely make it work for you for retirement. So if you already know that you're looking, you know, into the future and you're in your 30s or 40s, start building your equity, your you know, for your future now.
Yeah.
Invest in properties, invest in, you know, income that you can make while you're sleeping. Like you really got to think about how you're going to retire, because
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, Social Security is probably not going to be around for long. So
Exactly.
how can we retire? That's why I always say, like, find you somebody. They said choosing a mate is like the hardest thing to do. You got to be really mindful of who you're choosing, because you got to build wealth with this person. You got to have families. Like, it's a lot to choose when you're choosing a partner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just go out here and just choose anybody.
Yeah, accidentally fall into a situation.
Yeah, and it's like that. Both of y'all, you can't. I need somebody headstrong, you know, somebody that's better at finances than me, because I always say I'm not that great at finances, because I don't like to plan for stuff. I just do it in the moment. So a lot of times, you know, I need somebody who is really knows their finances and how to work them and that kind of thing. I'm willing to put my money to the side and let's build some wealth. Somebody who can manage a household and really doesn't need my help, but we're going to use my money to continue to build wealth. You know what I'm saying?
It just gets it done quicker.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, both of us don't have to be out here working so hard. Let's build this wealth so we can retire. Man, I'm trying to go to Panama at the end of the day. I don't care if it's in the next 3 to 4 years. I'm trying to go somewhere where I can retire and be comfortable.
Yeah.
And get up every morning and smell the ocean.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
I don't want to live in the United States anymore. I swear, I'm glad I got my dual citizenship. Because when it's time for me to go, I'm just going to say deuces and I'm going to be out.
Yeah, I need that.
I need that
Y'all
life.
got to vouch for me on my
Man,
dual
I'm
citizenship,
I'm
too.
telling you. Okay, we got a little bit off topic, y'all, but let's talk about it. So I want to talk about, I was just thinking about, you know, like relationships and how people are always saying that men cheat because they cheat because sex doesn't mean anything to them, and they can kind of cut off, you know, their feelings. You have sex with somebody and just move on and not even think about it again. And women are more emotional. And not only that, we put a value on sex. So we might be dating somebody and be like, we're going to put a value on sex. We might be like, oh, you give me this handbag, I'm going to give you some sex. Or if you do this for me, I'm going to do this and I'm going to give you this. You know, so we put value on it so that men, when a woman cheats, it's harder for a man to forgive a woman because we do put so much value on our vajayjays.
Yeah.
So they say men don't put no value on it. Do you think that's true? That's why men are more susceptible to cheating?
Yeah, I mean, just think about like how there are a lot. There's probably men one too, but there's female escorts, prostitutes are mostly females. So guys are,
that's true.
you know, buying that. It's not really a strip full of guy prostitutes where women are just.
That's true.
If you think of it in that aspect, like
Right.
guys just use it for what it, you know.
It is what, yeah. You
It
use
is
your
what it
tool
is.
for
It's
anything.
sex. Yeah, it's
basically
sex.
for sex and walk
Like
away.
money turns
it's
into
like
that.
nothing. Like a man can have sex with a woman on Friday and ghost her that same day.
Yeah.
Block her and just move on as if it was nothing. Is it? And I always try to think of it. Was it that the sex was bad and that's why he was like, oh, I can ghost her because it wasn't nothing. But if it's good, they come back.
No, it's usually anytime that I've ghosted a woman is just something that she's done personally. It has nothing to do with the sex.
Oh.
Because to be honest, it's a little different sex, but a lot of it is pretty similar. It's not like, oh, this is the most amazing, and then that was super trash. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's usually because she did something weird, or I know that she's gonna act funny or try to beg for me to stay when I know I don't want to stay.
You
So
don't
I'm
wanna
just going
stay.
to disappear.
Man, so you just ghost them?
Yeah, I've
How could
ghosted
you
them.
do that?
Cold-hearted.
That is cold-hearted, for
Cold-hearted.
real. Like, I don't know, I always feel like I have to, I don't know, I'm not argumentative, but I always feel like I have to explain myself.
Why do, that's
Like,
what I...
like, man, your sex was trash, and that's why I ain't called you. I'm not gonna ghost you. I'm not gonna block you. It just ain't no good.
Yeah.
Like, it's not no second chances, like that kind of thing. I
Yeah.
think that transparency, because if you ghost somebody, you leave them like emotionally scarred. You leave a person like really wondering, like, what happened? What did I do wrong?
I don't know. I feel like they know what they did wrong. They know what they
Really?
did that was weird. Or you seen when my face started, because I
Like,
express my emotions
yeah,
on my
through
face. So
your face. I
you
think a
seen-
lot of people do. They be like,
Yeah, so you know what turned me
Yeah.
off, or like what you did or what you said. That's how I feel.
Wow.
But maybe I'm wrong though. And
I just feel like I have I ever been ghosted? Nah, I ain't never been ghosted. Have I ghosted people? I always feel like I got to tell you why I don't want to. Like, I always feel like there's a potential of having, like, if I really like you and it can be a friendship, I won't ghost you.
Really?
Because
Okay.
I feel like, oh, this person is cool and everything. We just didn't. It just didn't work for me, but we could be friends type
Okay.
thing. I always feel like that. But I feel like ghosting people, because I've heard people that have been, especially females, that the guy, you took like 2 weeks to get to know her. You done took her out to dinner, then you got the vajayjay, and then you don't talk to her again.
Yeah.
Like, who does that? You leave a woman really emotionally messed up.
No, I'll ghost a woman before we even have sex. If it's something that she does that
because
annoys
maybe
me,
she
so it
says
don't
something on the phone. Okay,
Yeah, so it don't even have
I just
to
think
do
that
with the
ghosting
sex.
somebody after you get what you want, that's foul.
Okay.
That's foul to me. I feel like explain to her, that, or just be honest in the beginning and say, listen, girl, I got, my wife is over here. I'm with this girl. I live with this girl. That's why men end up ghosting. Men, y'all are foul. Because y'all are ghost a woman. You in a whole other relationship and then sleep with the woman and then ghost her. And then she's wondering, like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, you were talking all this great shit to her and then all of a sudden you just disappear. I think that's like the foulest thing a man could do to a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe I'll change my ways.
I mean, because I've dated somebody that had really high anxiety. So, like, if things wasn't working in his life, in his personal life, like, he would get really distant, quiet, wouldn't call, wouldn't text. It would just be like, not really ghosting, because he would check, like, a couple days will go by. Like, that's unusual. When you're dating somebody, you should not go a day without texting or calling that person. Right?
Yeah, for real.
That
yeah.
means that you value the relationship and you're texting and checking on the person that you're with. Like, if you're not checking for me or texting me to check for me, I don't care. You ain't got to call me every day, but you should at least send a text and say, hey, had a few minutes. I know I'm busy, whatever. It only, you have to shit at some point.
Yeah.
You're sitting on the toilet. Who doesn't take their phone to the toilet? Everybody takes their phone to the toilet.
Yeah, you on YouTube
while you're sitting on the
scrolling.
toilet, yeah, you're scrolling on Instagram while you on the toilet. Like, reach out to her, but it's like you're really not interested in her if you're not reaching out, right?
Yeah, 100%.
That's how. But I just feel like a lot of people have issues with communication. They don't know how to communicate in a relationship, and you really need to know how to communicate in a relationship. If you don't, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be a relationship
No.
for too long.
And a woman should be able to tell you without you getting offended, and vice versa, man too, how they feel. You know what I'm saying? Without you being offended because they're expressing themselves or that you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me. But the guy that I dated, like, he was just, he would get anxiety and he'd be like, oh, my house needs a new roof. Because he had a lot of, he was managing a lot of properties and he has his own business. So he was like, my house need a new roof. I can't talk right now. It's like, I got so much stuff going on. And I would be like, dude, really? So I kind of just was like, I fell off. After that, I was like, all right, I'm going to ghost you back then. Like, at the end of the day, you not texting me or calling me. I'm not texting or calling you because I'm not chasing you.
Yeah.
So that kind of just, we kind of got into it and that kind of just ended the relationship. And then, you want to wait a week, 2 weeks and come back when everything is great No, if you can't be with me in the bad and the good, then you can't be with me just for the good. You know what I'm saying? Because you get anxiety. We all have anxiety. A lot of people suffer from anxiety.
Yeah, I feel like everybody has some.
Everybody has some form of anxiety. Like, I was like, dude, you can't function without, you know, if you're having a bad day, like he just having a bad day, he's like, he don't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
Nah, deuces, he was gone. So you can't come back.
You can't come back.
You can't come back here after you messed up. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so relationships also like potential. I think that people. Do you think that people date people on potential? Like, should you date somebody on potential? Like their potential to be a good mate or their potential to be a good provider or
I think it depends on where you are in your life. If you got room for that or time to bet on potential, then it could be a greater outcome.
Yeah.
But if you're later in life or you're like super stationary, settled and you're ready to have kids because the clock is ticking, then maybe you shouldn't bet on
date
potential.
on potential.
Yeah.
So what do you think, like potential wise, somebody would have to bring to the relationship? Like, what would make you as a man date a woman on potential? I'm just curious for all the men out there, like what would make you date a woman on potential?
Knowing she's in school, she wants to be educated, she has goals, knowing she's smart, seeing how she manages her time, what she puts her time into. You know, you can tell if somebody's driven.
Right.
If I see she's driven, then I
you gotta have a hustle mentality. You gotta be able to get out there and get it.
Always thinking of what can we do to get to the next level. Yeah, so potential in that aspect. Yeah.
Okay, I think women do the same thing too. We date on potential based off. You might not have nothing right now, but what are you doing to get what you need?
Yeah.
And how can you provide for a family? I think that's, and like you said, I think at this age, 50, I ain't investing in no potential.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm at a point in my life where I have everything that I need. You got to come to the table with everything that you have.
Yeah.
Now I'll work with you if your credit is bad. I ain't going. Now credit, because you can always rebuild your credit. I have a lot of women saying, if he don't drive a nice car, if his credit is bad, if he don't have his own house, and is living in an apartment at this age at 40 and older, then I can't work with his potential because he's not financially stable.
Exactly.
And how can you be with somebody that's not financially stable when you are? But in my younger years, I would have dated for potential. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I mean, when I married your dad, we didn't have anything. You know, he went into the service and that's where he built his career. And
that was potential. Because
service. I had a child and I was like, I think that has a lot to do with it too. If you have children with this person, you really are investing on, wanting to be with this person. What do I need to do to help you get to where you need to go? I don't have a problem with investing in a man, but you got to show me that you can lead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm investing my money in you, but what are we getting back when I invest this money? Like, where are we going with this? I need to know what's the plan? Where are we going? Do you plan on building this money is going to help us build more money, more financial gain? Because at the end of the day, that's all I can do. I'm here to help, but you already got to come to the table with something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a lot of women say, especially at this age, like, man, I'm not investing in nobody potential. If he ain't got it, he ain't got it. I ain't willing to do that. I'm willing to deal with your bad credit, though, because the credit can be, credit can be fixed.
Yeah.
That's something that can be fixed. You know what I'm saying? I got you till your credit get good. I feel like, because everybody has messed up their credit at some point in life.
Or their parents messed it up. Somebody messed up their credit.
Somebody done messed up their school. You got loans, anything. Credit can be really messed up.
Yeah. Really
easily. You're not paying your light bill. You're not paying your electric. That stuff, they'll put that stuff on your credit.
Yeah, a medical emergency, anything.
All of that stuff. Yeah, so you really got to think about, credit is something. Yeah, it might be bad. You could really rebuild your credit. They say 7 years, but you could really rebuild your credit in like 3 to 4 years. If you have go get you a credit person that does the credit cleanup stuff. I did that when I was buying my house just because I had old stuff. You have credit for over 20 something years. Like at the end of the day, you got to at some point get all that old stuff off and just let the new stuff shine. They said the old stuff is good depending on what it is. But he went in there and really, I paid him $500, y'all. And he went in there and really cleaned off and scrubbed off my credit. Yeah. And it went up about 50 points. 50 points. So I was like, oh, wow, he was good. Real estate guy that does credit clean. He said he does it for all his clients and stuff to help them buy houses.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was really good. You know, it's not because you got bad credit that you're getting somebody to clean off your credit. You're getting somebody to clean off to remove, like, the inquiries and stuff. They know how to remove those inquiries that last on your credit for 2 years. That's how he was able. I had so many inquiries on there. I was like, I don't even remember. If you don't pay attention, you got to pay attention to your credit too. Because if you don't pay attention to it, people could be doing stuff on your credit. True. You got to at least check your credit at least twice a month, I say.
You don't even know your identity.
The beginning, I would say the middle month and at the beginning of the month. You got it for real. You don't know if somebody stole your identity or anything. Because right now, you know, people don't really check their credit. They be like, oh, my credit is bad. What am I checking it for? But you should be. You should be trying to get somebody to clean off the stuff that they can clean off and then start fresh. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the most important with your credit stuff. So people, get your credit straight. Although, you know, some people will. That's potential right there. Some people will deal with you with your credit because credit can be rebuilt. It's not something that is stagnant and stays bad forever. You got to pay your bills on time, though. That's the highest factor
in credit.
Is paying your bills on time. Cannot be out here not paying your bills. Oh, and a foreclosure or repossession on your credit too. I got to take my glasses off because I really can't see far away.
Really?
So yeah, I could see. I needed to see close, so I'm gonna probably need them again. So let me put them back over here though, because I'm gonna need them because I want to for greens. I want to focus on something. So. Yeah, so what's going on? Let's talk about what's going on in the news, y'all. So what is going on? So a lady in El Paso, Texas, she flies into El Paso, Texas to visit her boyfriend. And she's supposed to be meeting him at a casino. I didn't even know they had a casino in El Paso.
No,
El Paso, when did y'all get a casino? Oh my God. So the Uber driver is driving her and she sees the signs for Juarez, Mexico, and she gets nervous.
Yeah.
And is thinking that this Uber driver is taking her to Mexico. She's like, is it going to sell off my organs? I don't know what was running through this woman's head, but she shot and killed him.
Oh, word? I did not think that story's about to go that way. I thought he was going to say he did that.
No, she shot and killed him.
Really? Was he going the right way? Like when
he wasn't taking her to Mexico. He was actually on the track to take her to the casino.
That's crazy. Oh, she going to jail?
Oh, yeah. She's already been arrested and booked on murder charges. Yeah. Like, what? Why would you not call 911 and say, I'm in this car with this Uber driver and I think he's taking me to Mexico, instead of shooting and killing him?
Yeah, or at least wait.
And then where are you coming from that you have a gun? Like, it made it seem like she was from out of state, or maybe she drove in.
Yeah, I mean, you can fly on planes with guns if you
as long
take
as
the
you
right
put it in your
precautions.
right. You got to put it in the carrying case.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. I forgot about that. Dang, that's right, Kason. So I don't know. Maybe she brought her gun, firearm on the airplane, or drove in, like I said. But she was so afraid. I mean, I can understand the anxiety but what makes you click in your brain that I'm gonna kill this guy?
Yeah, like I'm taking him out. I mean, if she drove in, then she drove in with her gun, then she shouldn't have been in an Uber unless she knew she was drinking.
So maybe she felt like she was going to be drinking. She was meeting her boyfriend at the casino. So maybe he drove to the casino. Was no sense in her driving. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. Yeah. But the point that it got so bad that you killed the Uber driver. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Because you seen signs for Mexico. Did you ask him? They didn't even say that she was asking him, are you taking me to Mexico? Like, are you taking me to Mexico? Because as an Uber driver, if she's in the back of the car having like a panic attack, I would have pulled over.
Yeah, I'd have pulled over and been like, yo, call another Uber.
I don't think, and instead of calling 911, she takes a picture of him dying and sends it to her boyfriend.
Oh no, she's crazy. And what did the message say that she sent to her boyfriend?
It didn't have a message. I think it was just the photograph, the picture that she sent him. Like, I don't understand, people. Like, what is running through your head that you kill somebody? Like, I would have probably called 911, the police department. Yeah. I would have been Googling that.
Yeah. She probably was real, truthfully fearful though, and scared for her
And
life.
scared as hell.
But that's not a good excuse to kill them though. But
Yeah, she shot him in the wrist, and then she shot him, I think, in the back of the head or something like that.
yeah, that's crazy.
Man, I'm just wondering what she's thinking now that you're sitting in jail for murder.
I should have stayed my ass at home and not went to that casino or tried to go to that casino.
I don't know. It's like, to me, is it mental health, or is it just that people are just triggered by certain things that it just
they don't
elevates, and you're no longer consciously thinking? Is that what it is?
That's what I think it truly is. Because I done been in some scary situations where I just reacted, and you just react and do something, and then you think about it later, like, oh, maybe I should have did this instead.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just really just adrenaline. You're just trying to.
Yes, the flight or fight. Yeah, flight or fight. Yeah, it just really, it can go either way. Maybe that's how she was feeling. I mean, I would have been scared too if I seen signs from Mexico and we getting close to the border. But El Paso is right there.
But yeah, you're gonna see a sign for Mexico.
You're gonna see Juarez as a sign to go to Mexico. Like at the end of the day, like I don't know. Maybe it's her first time in El Paso.
Maybe
like.
So.
Why wouldn't you call your boyfriend and say, hey, this guy looks like he's taking me to Juarez and I'm scared. Like, what should I do? You just pull out a gun and shoot the guy.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, with all the crazy kidnappings and stuff in the news, that probably just feeds into
feeds in. I think social media feeds into like hysteria and people being afraid. It's like we have every right. I'm not saying people don't have the right to be afraid. You definitely have the right to be afraid and protect yourself. But I mean, if you shot him in the car, you could have shot him when you got out the car in Mexico. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't see any rationale in that. So
no, she's definitely going.
She's definitely going to go to jail for a long time. I feel so sad about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry to
really
hear that too.
And she was an older woman. She looked like she was over 40, maybe like 55.
Dang,
just, you know what I'm saying? Just crazy.
Yeah.
But people are afraid, just like that white woman that shot the black lady because her kids were playing in the yard. Like, sometimes people, like, I don't condone none of that stuff. I think it's crazy as shit. You're shooting a woman that's coming up to your doorstep to talk about your behavior. Why are you pulling out a gun on her?
Yeah.
This is not the first confrontation that you've had with this woman. She's never become violent. Why do you feel like it's okay to shoot her and kill her in front of her kids?
Really? Where'd this happen at?
This happened in Florida.
Dang.
Like, you and this lady been getting into it for a while over her kids. Why at this moment she comes to your doorstep and you feel threatened that you kill her? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. If I'm going at it with my neighbor and he comes up to the door, this is not the first time we've had a confrontation. I'm not scared of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are you in fear? You call the police. She's on my doorstep. Come. I'm in fear for my life. Why are you coming out with a gun and just shooting?
Yeah, people don't think.
She's not trying to come in the door. I don't know. I just feel like people lose their ability to think. I don't know. It's crazy. It's too many situations in the news where this is happening. Man in South Carolina, the neighbor's son exposes himself to the children.
I've seen this story.
And he shoots the guy and kills him.
Yeah. I can understand his actions, but that's not the proper way to go about it. I could see why he was mad. Like, yo, what are you? You're wilding. He exposed himself to his wife and his daughter. And he's like, but yo.
But you come out with a gun instead of going to his parents' house, calling the police and saying you just took matters into your own hands. You can't do that.
Nah, exactly.
No matter how mad you are that he was like a teenager, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, kids do dumb stuff. Why do you feel like killing him is the only option?
Now you're going to jail for life.
Now you're going to jail for murder because you wasn't threatened by him. He wasn't on your property. And now your daughter and your wife are going to be without a father and a husband because you took matters into your own hands. That shit just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, okay, he exposed himself. That's like a peeping Tom?
Yeah, I guess.
Where was he at? Like that he did it?
I don't know.
It didn't say. I don't think it said, but I was just like, man, this guy really just killed him because of this.
It's not a good reason to kill anybody.
No, it's like people are just out here killing people for no reason.
Yeah.
You can't even get smart with somebody nowadays, because if you get into it was a woman in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Her and the guy are in traffic. They start arguing back and forth, calling each other names and saying stuff. He gets out the car and starts chasing her out of her car with the gun.
Oh, word. Nah, I try to be the bigger
She's a
person.
black woman. He's a white guy.
Yeah.
He's chasing her with a gun. And she's trying to get away from him. Now, he could have just did that to scare her, because he didn't shoot at her or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But he came out chasing her with the gun.
Yeah, there's still a
She's
type
still
of assault or
yeah,
something,
that's
right?
assault. Yeah, with a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't go around doing this kind of stuff, people.
No, I don't know. People don't fear the consequences, or maybe
Is that what it is?
Maybe people are a lot more gangster than they used to be. I don't know, man. I'm gonna be the bigger person every time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna drive off. Like, I don't even cuss at people in traffic anymore. I used to like be like, man, move out the way.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say stuff like that in my car, but like, as far as like fighting with you, you cut me off, that kind of thing. I remember one time I was going into Popeyes, right, and it was a guy behind me, and he kind of cut me off. He kind of cut me off when we were coming in. So I was like, oh my God, he just cut me off. And I was like, dang. I just said, dang. And he seen me and he comes in behind me. So I get to the window. No, he cut in front of me. That's what it was. He was in front of me. I was behind him. So he goes through the window, orders his food, whatever. And I was like, well, he must have been hungry.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I'm thinking to myself. Well, he must have been hungry. So he gets to the window and I already ordered. He pulls up and I pull up right behind him. And he just looks at me and waves. So I just was like, like that. So when I get up to the window, the guy at the window was like, the man in front of you just paid for your food.
Oh, word.
So I was like, oh, really? Really?
I gotta let people cut me off in traffic more often if they're gonna pay for my food.
Yeah, yeah. So he paid for my food, and I thought that was nice. He said the guy at the window says he paid for your food. He said he cut you off, and he said so he said that was his payment for cutting you off. I was like, oh, that was nice.
Yeah, that's a good deed.
I'm glad I didn't cuss at him or anything,
Yeah.
but he did. He paid for my food. I thought that was really, really nice for him to do that. You know what I'm saying?
That is cool.
Yeah, that he did that. So you don't always have to pull out a gun, be mean or nasty, or sometimes you, like you said, you gotta, this day and age, you gotta be the bigger person, because you don't never know what somebody is thinking, what they just been through, where they're coming from. That guy could have been arguing with his wife and just been mad, shoot that girl, start chasing her with a gun. You can't do that kind of stuff.
For real.
It's crazy. It's so much mental illness out here that people are not treated, have not been diagnosed. You don't know what people got going on in their minds these days for you to be out here talking mess.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay alive forever.
No, I'm not trying to die or be taken out because I get into an argument with somebody.
Yeah,
crazy. Oh my God. So, Kason, the guy that actually exposed the neighbor kills the guy. There's another guy that he kills the mailman.
For what?
Did you hear about this?
No.
Kills the mailman because the mailman did not deliver his package of weed.
You're going to jail either way. What? He didn't deliver your package of weed because you didn't package it right. Whoever sent it to you.
This is a young black male kills the mail carrier
crazy.
Because he didn't deliver his weed.
Nah. What? Do you know what state this was in?
That was actually in South Carolina.
Yeah,
that happened.
weed
The one
isn't
before that,
legal
I think,
there.
was Texas too. Or Texas or North Carolina, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, who does that?
I mean, and to be honest, he doesn't even know it was the mailman's fault.
Right. It could be the people that was sending the package.
Yeah, the people at the post office. Like, I've heard stories of like they, because that's a federal crime. They're gonna intercept those packages.
Right. Exactly. Like, at the end of the day, why would you kill the mail carrier? That's out of his control.
Yeah. Now he's really.
Did he
going to
come
jail.
late or something? I don't get it. It's crazy. I don't know. Crazy. I don't know what. Like I said, what is going through your mind? What is going on, people? What is going on? Lady goes on vacation to Puerto Rico and leaves her 16-month-old baby at home. by herself in a playpen.
What? For how long was she planning on? She left.
She
food
was gone
there?
for like, I want to say 7 to 10 days.
She's bugging. Was the baby there when she got back?
The baby was dead.
Oh my god! Just for a little Puerto Rican trip, a little trip to Puerto Rico.
Man, when I tell you, like, what's going on, K-Son?
Nah, people are wild.
What is running through your head as a parent? You don't give a damn about your kid. Do you think that the kid is going at 16 months going to feed itself?
Exactly.
What do you think is going to happen to a child if you don't feed it? A baby, that's a baby still.
Yeah.
A toddler, 16 months old.
Even if they were 10, it still isn't right.
No, I agree. No age is right. Under the age of
15,
I wouldn't
14.
even leave Saul at 17. Like, I don't care what y'all say about me. I would call Kason and Sean to come babysit Saul.
Mm-hmm.
And he was 17. And really, it was more to make sure he wasn't having parties or anything in my house. But he needed a babysitter. He was still a minor to me.
Yeah.
17 is still you're not an adult. But what in the hell is going through a mother's mind that you're getting on a flight to Puerto Rico and you're 16 months old? They found that baby in feces and urine.
Oh my god.
Why would you think the baby's going to survive?
Yeah. All for
Oh
tacos
my
and
God.
margaritas. For her to get tacos.
No,
and
she was
margaritas.
eating arroz con gandules, like you really went to Puerto Rico and went on vacation. Why didn't you take your child with you?
Exactly.
I don't know, man. That really disturbed me.
Now she's going on a permanent vacation to
Yeah,
the
you're
Clink
going
Clank.
murder,
Yeah.
jail. That baby died.
That's insane.
That baby died. You come back and that baby is dead.
And the cops
I don't
are
even
waiting
know
for
who
you.
found the baby.
That's what I was about to ask. And the cops are
think
waiting for her when she get back.
I don't even know who found the baby, Kason. Somebody found the baby.
That's insane. Yeah, she's
So I don't know. It's just so disheartening that, you leave. Do you expect to come back and the baby's okay in the same?
I don't know. Her mind wasn't working.
I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
It's so sad to me. Man, this is crazy. So that's what's going on. I feel like what's going on in people's heads that y'all are out here doing this stuff. Like, are you not thinking about things?
They're obviously not. All them stories that you just talked about are people really just doing not thinking things through. Unexplainable. Nothing that would ever cross my mind to do.
Right. It's crazy. Never would I even think to leave you guys at home
For a
by
week.
yourselves. I mean, that's a whole week. You done left for 16 months. Did you think the baby was going to get up and make their own milk?
She's not.
Did she leave the
surviving
milk
there
just
for a week.
sitting there?
What did she? How did she try to prepare for this situation?
I just want to interview her just to say what was going through your mind at that time that you think that a 16-month-old baby, or you just didn't give a damn that you were going to come back and the baby was going to be dead.
She might have just been checked out of everything. Like she might have just been.
Do you think she just mentally checked out?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. If anything.
But you can't be mentally checked out and be able to get your ass on a plane to Puerto Rico and back on a plane from Puerto Rico. You ain't mentally checked out. You're just a
right.
selfish ass person.
Yeah.
You are a selfish individual. You can't find somebody to take your daughter.
That's what I'm saying. Or
One of
like
your
you
friends,
said, take her with you.
Family, take her with you.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you don't have the money for the both of y'all, 16-month-old, it don't cost nothing. She sit on your lap for free.
Oh yeah, she's wilding there for sure.
You deserve to be under the freaking jail. Stuff like that is sickening. Like, you deserve to die. She deserves the death sentence.
For sure, 100%.
She deserves the death sentence, Kason. I can't. I was reading that and I was like, wow, this is crazy. And she's Puerto Rican too.
Really?
Yeah, she was Puerto Rican.
Ah, she's wilding.
I don't know, man. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we have such a sense of family and love, and
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't get it.
You're not that checked out, that you mentally unstable, that you can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's so much abuse out here that parents abuse their children physically. And I don't know what happens that the state gives the kids back. Like, these are unfit people. And I know everybody deserves an opportunity because we don't all make the right decisions.
Yeah, everybody makes
when
mistakes.
it comes to parenting, because especially when you're a new parent, but some shit should just be common sense.
For sure.
Should just be common sense, people. Like, if you can't go out of town, you can't go out of town. Hell, I mean, there have been many times where I'd be like, I can't go to the club tonight because I ain't got no babysitter. I wasn't gonna leave my kids at home to go to the club. Like, hell no, you can't do that kind of stuff. Leave your kids. I don't care if you're leaving your kids at home during the daylight and they're 12 and 13. Anything can happen during the day too. Stuff doesn't just happen at night.
Really?
People get killed during the day.
Yeah.
People's houses get robbed during the day, and your kid could be in there while you're somewhere. If your kid is not at the age to be home and you don't provide a safe environment for them, I mean, by safe meaning that you have an alarm system, you have cameras that you can see things happening. You know what I'm saying? You got to be aware. Can't just be leaving kids at home like this, people. No. I have a little dog, and if I can't get accommodations for him, I just ain't going. I have to find a babysitter. It's like, you know what I'm saying? People, come on. What is going on in society today that y'all are not thinking clearly? You're not rational. You don't give a damn. Right?
You don't give a damn.
You don't give a damn. Is that what it is? You just don't give a damn?
I think it is.
Oh my God. That really... It really, really hurt me to read that article. 16-month-old, like, you brought this child in the world, you carried it for 9 months, you don't feel no sense of attachment. Some people just don't need to be parents.
That's very
And then
true.
there's women out here that can't even conceive and have children that really deserve to be a parent. You didn't want that child, give it up for adoption. You rather be on vacation, you're not ready to be a parent. Because as a parent, you gotta do a lot of things for your kids before you do it for yourself. You understand what I'm saying? You put them first. It seems like people are so damn selfish. You're putting yourself first before your own kid. Like, that is so crazy to me. And then you have people that go way above thinking or being moral or rational that kill somebody that exposes themselves to a kid. Like, I understand that's crazy, but you call the police and get the police involved. You call his parents and get his parents involved. You don't shoot and kill them. Come on, we got to start thinking about what we're doing before we do it. You understand what I'm saying? I always think about stuff. What's the pros and cons to this before I even do it? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. I don't get it, y'all. I just don't get it. Like, what's going on in society? Or is it the food we're eating? Is it?
Could be true.
What are we doing wrong as a society that this is the kind of reaction that we have to things? Do you think it's that social media has put this so much in the forefront?
Like craziness happening, so it just seems normal to
so
react
it just
like
seems
that?
like, normalized.
Or to do things like, you're like, we see murder so much, we see so much
that we normalize
violence.
the violence. Like,
that could be very true.
Man, because I'm like, before it wasn't like that. When you seen something on the news, you'd be like, oh my God, that happened? Even in your own neighborhoods, like when something happened, you'd be shocked about it. You know what I'm saying? Like abuse, like if you as a kid had a friend that was being abused by their parent, whether it was sexual assault or just physical or an emotional abuse, you talked about it. You told your parents about it. And then guess what? They would call protective services on your ass.
Wait,
and your ass would go to jail.
You saying if what?
If your friend, say a friend of mine was being sexually abused or...
Oh, you saying you would tell your parents?
Yeah, I would tell my parents, such and such said that this is happening at her house. And then, kind of go from there.
Yeah, I understand.
And the parents would be like, what? Are you sure? Yeah, because I've seen bruises on her arms and she's cutting herself or whatever. Or that's the stuff that you would go back and tell your parents back in the day. Are people not doing that anymore? Kids not doing that? That we're so numb to stuff? I think you have to have a good relationship with your parents, first of all, to be able to share that kind of stuff. If you don't have a good relationship with your parents, we got to do better. I'm not saying be your kids' friends because I don't believe in that, but you got to talk to your kids, make them aware of what's going on in society today, because it's not safe out here for nobody. It's not. It's a lot of stuff going on in this world. Even when I'm not with you guys, or, Zaul goes out, like I can't sleep till he comes back. And sometimes I don't hear him come in and I'll start texting like, Zaul, where you at? Why you ain't home? And then I'll get up and look and his car's out there and he in there sleeping.
Yeah.
But I panic because I'm like, it's not because of you. I'm panicking because of what somebody else will do.
Yeah, you used to always say that when we were younger. You always been like that, never would sleep till.
Yeah, I'd be like, I can't sleep. Are y'all home? Like, even when the first time y'all moved out to your own places, had your own apartment. Y'all were young in your first apartment, 18. I think you were 18. Sean was 18, you were 19.
Yeah.
And had an apartment.
Yeah,
like
20 and 18.
Yeah, y'all had your own apartment. And I was like, oh my God, texting all the time. Did y'all eat today?
Yeah.
Did you do this? Did you do that? But that's the love that a parent has, that if I don't feel easy, I'll be like, let me just text. Because at the end of the day, I just don't know where this world is coming to. Like, I love my friends, my girlfriends. Like, I'm always checking on them. Like, I might not hear from you ladies, but I'm always going to reach out and say, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. You okay? That's just the kind of friend I am. Yeah. If I love you, I love you. I'm always going to check on you. That's why you might periodically hear, from me. Like, I changed my phone number, and I never knew the response I would get from changing my phone number. But I felt like, if y'all must know, I felt like, I'm in a relationship with somebody, and I felt like it was something that I had to do because I had a lot of...
Too many old boos.
Too many old boos hitting me up on my phone, and I felt like the new boo got to feel secure. I got to make things right on my side, because I have a lot of loose ends. Like, at the end of the day...
Did he change his number too, though?
No. Do you think he should? I don't feel like I don't trust what he's doing, though.
I
think the trust, right? I think the trust was more on my end.
Word.
Because I think that I could be petty. I hate to say that sometimes, but I could be a little petty sometimes. So I felt like if this was gonna make it better and make it right, let me just cut off all, because I did have people calling my phone still. Even if I block you, you calling me from different numbers. Like, I was like, it's time to, move on with life and just leave the past in the past. You had your chance. I was with you for some time. If you didn't have your shit together then, you can't come back here. So I kind of had to just release that. So if y'all got to know, yes, I changed my number, because people was like, what happened?
Yeah, that's what I asked too. I'm like,
what happened? Are you okay? Everything
up?
good? Everything okay? Everything is great. It's just that sometimes you got to purge people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to purge people and let them go. Move on with their lives so that you can move on successfully with yours.
Exactly.
So, it is what it is. I don't feel like... Listen, if y'all call me and you get the boop, 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 this number is no longer in service, and I haven't hit you up and let you know that I changed my number, it's because you don't need the shit. Because you ain't checking for me, so I'm not checking for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because, everybody's not a good friend either. There's people out here that are not good friends. Like, you think they're your friends, but they really just like an associate or somebody that you just, because your friends, they care about you. They're going to reach out to you and say, hey, is everything all right? And I've had quite a few people, I know you love me because you checked on me and said, yo, what's going on? Everything all right? Why you changing your number? But it was just, I just had to purge people. I just want to start fresh. There's some things going on in my life that I just know that change was near. Yeah. And I just needed to make some changes. There's nothing wrong with that.
If you want to find her, we're on YouTube at Titi's house.
Right, exactly. Just come watch the podcast, and then you're going to get the message, because I'm telling you right here on this, like, if you ain't checking for me, I ain't checking for you.
100%.
Friends check on each other. You know what I'm saying? Now, some of y'all, I don't talk to you all the time, but I love you. And If I haven't reached out to you yet to give you my number, I will. I just haven't had a chance. I mean, I was just trying to think of the immediate people that I needed to change my number. And I forgot somebody. So now as I'm thinking about it, I got to go ahead and reach out to her and tell her I changed my number.
Yeah.
Love you, Shampoo, because I forgot to put you in there. But, yeah, so anyway.
No, that's a good reason to change your number.
Yeah, right. Would you have done it?
No.
No.
I mean, I'm great at I block people.
So what? See, you block people.
I block people.
Do they not call you from other numbers? After
I
you
don't
block
answer
them?
numbers that's not saved
That's
in
what
my
somebody
phone.
told me. Like, I don't answer unknown phone numbers.
Yeah, I text
and I was
it
like,
and be like,
I
who's
do.
this? Yeah, I don't answer nothing that's not saved in my phone.
See, I don't. If it says spam risk, I'm not answering it. But I feel like maybe sometimes the doctor's office calls you. I don't have their number saved in my phone.
Yeah.
So I feel like I gotta answer the phone.
Then.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, let me answer the phone. But I felt like, in order to move my relationship to the next level, it was just something that I felt like I needed to do. Because like you said, I think that I'm such a good person that my exes keep coming back.
My exes keep coming back.
Yeah, they come back. They don't never. Actually,
right
y'all
there.
don't never damn leave. It's like, I gotta, like you said, you gotta, and it's not that I don't say I'm not in a relationship, because I do say,
yeah, they don't want to hear that.
I'm in a new relationship and I'm just trying to make it work, y'all.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a good reason.
Tell me, y'all, ladies, would y'all change y'all number for your new boo? If your old boo keep calling you, like, what do you do? Like, at the end of the day, what do you do?
Yeah, let's see what the poll. Let's do an Instagram.
Let's do an
poll
Instagram poll. Would you change your number because your ex-boyfriend keeps calling and you've moved on with somebody new? Mm-hmm. That's the poll, Kason. Remember that. Type that in.
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
The producer's going to put it down. We're going to poll that on Instagram and Facebook. I want to know how people... Because they said that in order to move on to your next relationship, you got to get rid of the old baggage. Mm-hmm. You think that that's true? Like, you have to sever all ties with that. Because people normally say, if it didn't work, it didn't work. But I always feel like I don't never leave my relationship on bad terms.
Yeah.
So is that okay to still be friends with somebody you used to date and still be dating somebody new?
If any of my exes hit me up, I think I still got a shot to get some from her. That's the first thing going through my mind. I'm like, oh,
you
word.
know what? That's
she
true
trying
too.
to come through.
Yeah, or that she's still open to us
I'm
being
like, oh
together.
yeah, that's still mine.
I don't think about it that way. That's how men think.
Yeah, that's how men think.
See,
That's
women, do we think that way? I don't know if women think that way. Like, do I still have a chance to get with her? Because she's still responding.
Yeah. And then
I'm just saying, there's
times
times I did respond, and there's times I didn't respond. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But, everybody was like, you got to let go of the old baggage to be able to move on to something new. You can't establish a new relationship with somebody, and you still got a bunch of exes in your phone. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go on ahead and just start fresh and new. I couldn't get somebody else to do it. I had to do it myself.
Oh, word.
Yeah, my shirt says get somebody else to do it. I had to do it myself, y'all. I couldn't get somebody else to do it. So anyway, let's talk about, I want to talk for Greens, and Greens is our health and wealth section. I want to talk about vacationing because, we all plan for vacations, right? I think we all plan for vacations. Or are they spontaneous? Because I feel like some vacations I plan for and I save my money for those if they're going to be a lot more expensive. Like, I plan to go to Panama. Yeah. So for Panama, I'm always putting like money aside for my plane ticket. I know if I go there, I'm going to be spending money because my family members, that kind of stuff. So do you plan for a vacation? Tell me. What do you think?
I'm not really a vacation type of person. My vacation is alone time watching TV.
So you do a staycation.
Yeah, staycation.
Where you're
I'm
just
more of a
really,
staycation.
Yeah, like you're more at home.
And I do that often.
You're just tuning people out.
Yeah,
you're not
phone
really
off.
Right, phone off, that kind of thing. So that's a staycation. But you still got to plan for that. Like what I'm going to do this week while I'm on my staycation.
That is true.
Yeah, so you still got to plan for that. So I want to go over some things. There's 7 ways to save for a vacation. So I kind of want to go over that. So it was in the U.S. News World Report. And the gentleman that actually did the article on 7 ways to save for your vacation. I think we should save for a vacation. And you should probably stay for your vacation as soon as you come back from your last vacation.
Exactly.
You need to start planning for the next vacation. Because vacations are expensive.
For sure.
Especially if you're going out of the country. I feel like if you're going to Disney World, Orlando, if you're going to SeaWorld, those are things that are attainable. You could just put a little money to the side every month. But for vacations where you're going to Greece, Italy, Panama, Costa Rica, you really got to stay for those vacations, okay? So definitely, those are real vacations. So his name is Jeff Williams. He is on U.S. News and World Report since 2013, and he covers a lot of topics about personal finance, including saving and spending money, household budgeting, tax filing tips, and income strategies. So that's his background. So I think he's like the perfect person to talk about how do you spend your money or how do you save. So basically, he said you definitely need to budget for a vacation. So that means that every month you should be putting a certain amount of money away for your vacation. So if you know that the last vacation cost you, I'm going to say if you went, for me, I think a vacation normally costs about $3,000. So you know that if you're going here, do your research ahead of time. I'm going to Italy. I want to research Airbnbs. I want to research what is there to do, the cost of food, what I'm going to spend for food daily. So those are the things that you need to be setting your budget aside for when you're thinking about going on vacation, which I think that makes a lot of sense. Also, he said that you can utilize your cash back on your credit cards to use those points or that cash back money to use on your vacation, which is a very good idea. I just started doing cash back. I started paying my mortgage on my credit card, doing that through, you could do it through PayPal, you could do it through Venmo, and you get cash back for that. Your utilities, cash back. So instead of just using your debit card, start using your credit cards at point of sales. But the thing about that, guys, is that you really have to be disciplined. Don't use your credit card and be like, I'm not paying the exact amount. You got to pay the exact amount that you put. Like if your mortgage is $1,100, your gas and electric $200 to $300, 14. That's $1,500. Like you really need to pay that back on that card.
Yeah, at the end of every month.
At the end of every month before your next billing cycle, so that you're not getting interest charges. So cash back is great, but you got to be great at being disciplined. Everybody is not disciplined. Also, earning extra money to go on vacation. People sometimes to go on vacation, they get an extra job.
Yeah, just to stack up for vacation.
Just to stack up and say, okay, this is my part-time job during the winter months, so that I can go on vacation. I'm going to start stacking now, and then I'm going to take a summer vacation. Also, guys, it's cheaper to go on vacation off the summer months. So not going June, July, August, September. Go during, November, October, November, September. Those are the months you want to go on vacation. Because guess what? It's cheaper.
That makes sense, too, because everybody's traveling in summertime and during, like, Christmas.
Exactly.
And all that, so.
One thing that I do before I go on my vacation is I cut back. So that means that I stop spending a lot of money, like going out to eat, gas, traveling here and there. Me and my girlfriends up for stuff. Be like, nah, girl, I'm going on vacation. No buying no shoes or handbags. Like, I am really trying to not spend a lot of money because I know I'm going to be taking this vacation in a couple months. I'd say about at least 90 days before my vacation, I'm doing that. So I'm like, ladies, I ain't meeting y'all for lunch. I'm trying to save. Y'all can come over here. I'll put something on the grill, or we could do something else, because if it entails spending money, I ain't trying to do it. So we're all like that. I think we all cut back when we know we're going on vacation. Also, get serious about budgeting your non-vacation expenses. So if you're spending money, nails, feet, lashes. Ladies, we guilty of all of this. Makeup. Women will go out and spend money on makeup, shoes, buying clothes. It says start budgeting and don't start buying all that stuff. Don't get your nails done. Wait till you get ready to go on vacation to get your nails done. I couldn't do that. Good luck to y'all on that. I'm going to go keep getting my nails done and my pedicures. Like, some women don't get pedicures in the wintertime. I still get pedicures in the wintertime. And they're like, for what? Because I still want my feet to look good.
Yeah.
You still got to take your socks off.
Yeah, I'm going to have to see them toes.
I know. Okay, polish. You don't have to polish them, but at least go get them massaged and, take care of yourself. It's $30 for a pedicure, isn't it? I think so. about $30. I think mine be a little bit more because I do the gel. So ladies, cut back. Don't do gel. Do regular polish. There's a lot of things you can do to cut back. Don't get them lashes done. Lashes are expensive. And it says go on a money hunt, which I never thought about this. But Jeff, thank you, because I think about this all the time. You ever go out and buy stuff that you think you're going to use and you end up not using? You can take that stuff back to the store, guys, and get your money back and put that stuff back on your credit cards or get cash or get a store card, because sometimes after a certain amount of days they won't give you cash back unless you have a receipt. If you don't have a receipt, you can get a card and you can use the money that you do to take those non-necessary items back. You can use them to buy like a beach towel, lotion, stuff that you would take on your vacation, which makes a lot of sense. You could buy pajamas, underwear. I think people buy underwear when they go on vacation.
Every time you leave town,
really?
That's just like a...
Yes, I feel like I do that too.
Yeah,
I thought I was
that.
the only one doing that stuff.
No, it's nothing like having fresh underwear when
you're on vacation,
new.
ripping
like,
the tags.
yeah.
Yo, it's nothing like ripping the tags off fresh underwear, y'all, and be like, oh, I got new panties on or new drawers on. I think that's a good thing. So he said, whenever you spend for your vacation, you need to spend strategically. So that means that having a plan in place on how you're going to spend.
Yeah, knowing what you're
like
gonna
I said,
do,
knowing what you're going to do while you're on vacation. If you're going to get on the little water ski things, knowing that them little jet skis, I don't do none of that stuff.
Me neither.
I'm scared. I'm going to just tell y'all, like, I love the beach. I grew up on the beach. Being from Jersey, we had the shore and everything. Grew up on the beach. But when I tell you I don't go in the water, I'm not trying to be out there with no sharks or jellyfish or none of that stuff. I'd rather be at a pool somewhere. So I don't spend money on the jet skis or none of that stuff.
Yeah, I've never been on a jet ski.
You go ahead, get somebody else to do it, because I'm not about to do it, y'all.
Yes,
not about to do it. But those were some things that I think that as you begin to plan your vacation, you need to do it strategically. So know what you're going to do. If you know that your vacation, you're going to Italy and it's going to cost you $4,000, over the course of the 12 months that you're planning for that vacation, divide that by the 12 months, and that's going to tell you how much you need to put away every month to meet that goal. Because and use a travel agent, because they said that if you use a travel agent, sometimes it's less expensive. They can find the good deals.
Yeah.
I don't always use a travel agent. I think I normally plan my vacations myself, but the travel agents really can help you, kind of maneuver the different countries and what you need to be doing there, what you need when you go there. So, that's a way of strategically planning too.
Yeah.
Get a travel agent. It's a little bit cheaper. So I just wanted to share that because I know it's vacation season, not seasoning, but season, and people are planning to go out of the country, Disney World, Disneyland, take their kids, to the beach. You still got to plan for that stuff because everything costs money. And inflation is big, guys. Food, I went to Nashville for work, and I'm going to tell you, a salad in the hotel was $24.
That's insane.
I was like, I didn't feel like driving and getting in the car. And even though I was on my work corporate card, y'all, the travel expenses were on there, I still couldn't justify spending that kind of money.
$24 per salad.
Even though my company was paying for it.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to go out to go to Zaxby's and get me a salad because I can't just... If I'm not doing it, I'm definitely not going to do it on somebody else's dime.
Yeah,
I can't. It's got to be logical spending for me. Y'all, do not rent from Avis Car Rental. Let me just tell y'all my experience with Avis Car Rental. So I get a car rental because I'm going to Nashville on business for work, and they give me a car. So I get there. Lady's nice. It seems like it's a black-owned one. She's very nice, everything, whatever. So on my way back from Nashville, of course, my girlfriend is watching the dog, so I want to go pick up the dog immediately before I come home. So I put him in his crate in the back of the car, or the back of the truck, and bring him home. I go to turn in the car, and the same day, I get a call from Avis, y'all. I have never... Tell me if y'all are doing this, because maybe I'm just blind to this shit, and I just need to know. Because I'm never renting from Avis again. They will never get my money. And my company uses them, so I have to find a different way of renting from somebody else. But anyway, so Avis calls me, the lady calls me and says, they're charging me to vacuum out dog hair. Now, how much dog hair could be in the car?
For 15 minutes of a ride.
it was literally about 15 to 20 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
And she said, well, you have to turn in the cars exactly how you receive them. I said, I know the gas needs to be turned in. If you give me the car at a full tank of gas. Y'all tell me y'all experience, because I've never vacuumed out a rental car to take it back. Have you?
Only if I knew I was smoking, I shouldn't have been smoking.
Everybody says that. So the car was spotless.
Yeah.
All I did was drive to my destinations. I didn't eat in the car. I didn't drink in the car. Like,
yeah, you don't smoke.
Guess how much they charged
me?
me?
How much?
$85.
Cleaning fee for the
dog hair?
That's crazy.
Y'all, the dog weighs like 10 pounds and is like 10 inches long. Like, at the end of the day, like, was it $85 worth of vacuuming? And she said it was on their contract. I didn't see anything about vacuuming the car. It did say bring the car as you get it or whatever, but it didn't specify. Like, you have to specify to people, because people go on vacations and rent cars, and guess what? They're putting their dogs in there. They're putting their kids in there. Their kids might spill Doritos all over the floor. Of course, you're going to pick them up, but you might not get every crumb. So are you charging them for the Doritos that were spilled on the floor? Like, to me, I was like, never again will I rent from Ava's Car Rental. And then I Google online to see what kind of feedback y'all are getting. Guess what? People were complaining about they charged them for dog hair.
Really? Oh, so it wasn't just you.
It wasn't just me.
The same thing.
Avis, you lost my business. I had to bring that up, y'all, because that bothered me. So I was like, is it that serious? It is very serious.
$85 serious.
Like, I spent money with y'all. $85 to vacuum. I could have went to the thing and paid $1.50, $1.25 to vacuum the car had I known that dog hair was a big issue.
No, they probably make a lot of their money hitting people with that fee.
Yeah, because you couldn't hit me with nothing else. That's how I feel. Yeah. And I was like, why is it always us? Why? Why do we do this to each other? You know what I'm saying? It didn't cost you $85. I bet you didn't sterilize it. I bet you didn't spray nothing in there because you think dog hair people are allergic. I bet you didn't do none of that shit. You just took a vacuum cleaner and vacuumed it out. It only took one little swoop to do that. It was not that much dog hair. Come on, people. Don't rent from Avis. I'm just telling y'all. I'm putting it out there. I wouldn't. So anyway, y'all, that was my rant for the day. Don't rent from Avis Car Rental because they are not good. I don't feel like their contract does not state you cannot have a dog in the car. Yeah. And if you do, you need to vacuum out the dog hair.
Oh, so it doesn't even say no pets allowed?
No. None of that.
Yeah, no.
So I'm thinking about disputing it. Tell me what y'all think. Do you think I should dispute it through my bank after I pay the $85? Because I have to pay the difference from the rental for Carlito because it was $85 to vacuum out the car.
Yeah, I would dispute it, but they probably, it really depends on if you feel like dealing with it. They know people probably, especially
don't feel like dealing. Yeah,
like,
we just like whatever. I told her, I was like, I don't just let me come pay for the difference, and I don't have to don't put it on my corporate card. But she did it anyway. She was just being unruly and nasty. Miss Cynthia at Avis and Lithia Springs. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Like, yeah, she was just like, you have to, I can't do that. Da, da, da. And I was like, why can't you? It's a separate payment, charge, right? A separate charge. Why can't you, Cynthia? You just want to make things difficult. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not coming up there to fight with you. I'm not, just do whatever you got to do, ma'am. But you will not never get my business. And I rent a lot of cars because I got to go out of town on business. Like, you will not get my business ever again. Never. So that was my rant for today, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to At Titi's House. I had to say that because it bothered me for like a couple days. I was like, oh, she made me mad. Miss Cynthia made me mad. And then she was like, have y'all ever been, I'm sorry, I'm going back to this, but have you ever called somewhere and they'll just put you on hold, not saying hold on?
Oh, they just click and you're like...
I'm like, did she just... Miss Cynthia, did you just put me on hold? I was so mad. Like, she just put me on hold and didn't even say hold on. Yeah. And then came back to the phone like... I was like, oh, ma'am, this is not... They don't have great customer service at Avis and Lithia Springs. I'm just saying my experience with Cynthia, I didn't like it. I think she was rude and nasty and... I ain't even gonna comment on the other stuff, but that I felt when I went in there. But anyway, I'm good. Miss Cynthia, you won't get my money. Anyway, y'all, thank you for tuning in at TT's House. Remember to like, follow, and share. We're only on YouTube right now, so look us up on
and
YouTube
Spotify.
And Spotify. Oh, that's right. YouTube and Spotify, iHeartRadio, and
Apple Podcasts
soon to come. We're on Instagram at TT's House. We changed our name. It's at TT's House Podcast
on Instagram and
Facebook. So you already know where to find me, y'all. See y'all later. Deuces.